Hey everyone, welcome back to AFC Game by Game. This is going to be a really hard one to talk about. Arsenal losing 2-1 at home to Watford in what was I don't even know what to say. I really don't. It was shocking from Arsenal on the night, and I feel like a broken record because we're in this situation once again, season upon season upon season. I'm pretty sure I've said that line once before. Already this campaign, it's really quite depressing in a way that we find ourselves in this rut once again. And I feel like I'm meant to be acting a little bit surprised at the performance that Arsenal put in tonight, but I'm not. It's probably the least surprised I've been watching Arsenal. One of the worst first half performances that I've seen at the Emirates Stadium. And to be frank, probably our title challenge over. If you didn't already think it already is. At a point when we were already gaining a bit of momentum this season, 6 wins out of 7, had a fantastic win away from home in the FA Cup against Southampton. Lots of positives going into this game. We had a real opportunity tonight to set up that game against Chelsea on Saturday really nicely. It could have been something special. It would have had the feel of that game against Leicester last season where we beat them 2-1 in the final minute. It really would have had that kind of emphasis built around it. But we've thrown it all away tonight because of complete lacklustre, complete arrogance from this Arsenal side. It was such a petulant performance from Arsenal, and I really don't know I don't know how to sum it up. I really don't. I can't work out why the team performed in the way that they did. I can't really understand why Wenger thought those changes that he brought into the side were justifiable, because the players that played so well against Southampton, Oxlade-Chamberlain, I feel so bad for the guy. So bad for him, because he definitely merited a start in this match, and he came into the game at a very intense time, and I think we were 2-0 down. He came off Aaron Ramsey and he came to a very difficult situation. Had he started the game, then we might not have found ourselves in that situation in the first place. Granted, the first goal we conceded was unfortunate, but you could kind of tell it was coming, the way that Watford were pressing and the poor manner that we started in. But Oxlade-Chamberlain, had he started this game alongside Francis Coquelin, maybe would have started the game with a bit more determination and drive. Unfortunately, we didn't start with him, and I do feel very sorry for the bloke. Once again, it's taken an injury for him to get himself into the squad. So, I just hope he puts in a performance against Chelsea and shows Arsene Wenger what he's capable of. Because for me, if that performance against Southampton is anything to go by, then he has to be starting more regularly. Theo Walcott dropped to the bench after a hat-trick against Southampton. And whether you want to see it as him being rested or not for the game against Chelsea, irrelevant, because he should have started this match, as should have Lucas Perez. Olivier Giroud, actually I'm going to get onto Olivier Giroud a bit later, but the players that should have started this game in the names of Lucas Perez and Theo Walcott, with Alexis Sanchez leading the line. We saw how mobile and how equipped we were when we played Southampton away from home, and how well we've been zipping the ball about with such mobile attackers going forward. They should pick themselves, really. And as much as I like Olivier Giroud, and as much as I think he can be of a benefit to this squad, and I still think he does have a massive part to play in this Arsenal team, we simply played better football without him. And that's not me having a personal go at Olivier Giroud. The whole team was just as bad as he was tonight. It's not his fault at all that we lost this game. He wasn't helped by the players around him, but I don't think he helped himself at all. But for me, if we start with Alexis up top, Lucas Perez and Theo Walcott on the flanks with Ozil through the middle, not only does that benefit Ozil's game, it gives him a lot more options and a lot more runners, but Lucas on that left-hand side did more in 20 minutes than anyone else did in the game. Theo Walcott on that right-hand side got into a whole host of goal-scoring positions today. Granted, he didn't take any of them, but he just got between the lines. He looked a lot more dangerous when coming on compared to the football that we played in that first half. And Alexis looked a lot more determined when put in that centre-forward role. We just cause havoc when we've got those players on the pitch, and it should be a no-brainer that those players start. But I think, in all honesty, by not starting Walcott, by not starting Bellerin, by not starting some really crucial and key players, we're guilty of looking ahead too much to that game against Chelsea, and we're not focusing on what's in front of us in the name of Watford. And they are completely deserving of their victory tonight. You'd think we were the ones that played just 2 days ago. This is a Watford side that played 2 days ago and lost to Millwall in the FA Cup. Tonight's inexcusable. It really is inexcusable. The fact that we haven't taken this game as the priority before Chelsea, focusing on that game was ridiculous. If we even are going to rest these players, if you do want to rest Bellerin, if you do want to rest Walcott, etc., and for God's sake, play them for 60 minutes, get the game won in the first half and then take them off. That's the logical thing to do. You don't do it in the way that we have, by resting them and then not getting the best out of this current squad. It's ludicrous from Arsene Wenger. Absolutely ludicrous. The team itself was a shambles on the night. It was the complete wrong lineup for me. The Coquelin-Ramsey pivot, I know I can't really judge it. I don't think it'd be fair to. But for the time that he was on the pitch, Aaron Ramsey looked very disjointed in the team, and that's not his fault at all. I think this whole team was incredibly mismatched, but him and Coughlin didn't work particularly well. Coughlin had a very out of sorts game. You could just tell that he's coming back into the starting 11. Giroud, very, very, very limited up front, very isolated throughout the course of this game. Alexis, I don't think he had his best performance. Ozil didn't have everyone had a poor game. Let's be honest, everyone had a poor game. We should have learned from that game against Southampton. I said in the preview for this match that we had so many things to be positive about coming out of that game. Chamberlain playing in midfield, the fact that Lucas Perez is playing some fantastic football, Theo Walcott getting a hat-trick, Danny Welbeck not even in the squad tonight. I know he's just coming back from an injury, but for God's sake, the impact he can have, it's I can't get my head around it. I really can't, and I'm infuriated with what's gone on tonight, because we had a real chance to do something exciting this season. If we're not going to win the league, at least we could have taken it to Chelsea, because we'd have been the only team challenging them if we'd have won tonight. Tottenham have dropped points, Chelsea themselves have dropped points, Liverpool have dropped points. I mean, we were in a great position to win against a team that have been abysmal. They've been abysmal away from home this season. I don't know what to say. I really don't. It's shocking, and it's perplexing that we can't learn. The team was incredibly slow. Giroud and Alex Iwobi evidently can't play in the same starting lineup together. Iwobi was, he struggled in that first half, I think, but the way he set up some chances in that second half, the run he made that set up the chance for Theo Walcott in the opening 5 minutes of that second half was absolutely mesmeric. He had some really good glimpses in that second half. Got the goal himself, but I mean, let's take a look at the game. Let's look at some of the goals that were scored. Awful opening 5-10 minutes from us. We really did not deserve to take the lead in this game whatsoever, because we just didn't get going at any point throughout the course of the match. We looked arrogant. We looked like we could just walk over Watford. We looked like, oh yeah, we don't have to start the game too well because chances will come to us. We're Arsenal. We're playing at home. We're going to win this game against struggling Watford. It's a no-brainer. We've got that game against Chelsea. That's what we should focus on. And that's the exact problem tonight. That was the real problem with Arsenal. They got their first goal from a sloppy free kick that we gave away. Coming off, I think it was Aaron Ramsey. Yunus Kabul absolutely pelting it towards the Arsenal goal. It's unfortunate to concede. Those kind of goals do happen, but you would have hoped Arsenal would have responded a lot better. We didn't. Niang was causing all kinds of problems to our backline. I said in the preview as well, completely stupid of me to dismiss the threat that Niang and Deeney would have, and I would have thought Koscielny and Mustafi would have dealt with him and Deeney a lot better. The way Deeney ran our defence ragged tonight, I mean, he had a cracking game. He really did work his socks off for Watford, and justifiably got his goal in this game. It was an awful defending once again from us. It was such a bad goal to give away. I'm not even enjoying talking about it, to be honest with you. Capoue just running through our whole midfield, kind of evidencing that the Ramsey Coughlin pivot just is null and void. It's really going to struggle to work for us. Runs through the whole midfield, takes our defence to bits, has a shot which check parries away into the path of Troy Deeney, and we're 2-0 down within 15 minutes. 2-0 down within 15 minutes at home to Watford. Oh. Yeah, this is hard to talk about. Going out into that second half, it was a lot better from Arsenal. We saw Theo Walcott come on, Alexis Sanchez moved up top, and it's no coincidence that we start playing better football when Sanchez is playing up top. And the thing that I can't get my head around is we have a formula that evidently works for us. Our best performances, our best results have come with Alexis Sanchez playing up top. 3-0 home to Chelsea, 5-1 against West Ham, the result against Basel, the result against Ludogorets. They've all started with Alexis Sanchez leading the line for us, and the fact that we haven't gone with that continuously, although Olivier Giroud's been banging form, he's been scoring the goals. We play better football with Sanchez up top, and we will score more goals. I believe we're the highest scorers in the league now. It's unbelievable that we haven't stuck with what was such a good blueprint with Alexis Sanchez up top, with Walcott on the right, etc. I know with Walcott being out, we've had to adapt, and we have had to use Giroud, and he's done very well for us in the time that he's played. But for God's sake, we've got Walcott back now. Start putting Alexis Sanchez back up top where he rightly belongs, and maybe the results will start coming in. I'm gonna stop talking about it now. The only very tiny positive that I can take. I can't take anything positive out of this performance because there's nothing good to say about it whatsoever. But going into that game against Chelsea, if we win that, everything changes. Everything you would hope would change. I said that when we beat Leicester last season. Look how that ended up, so I won't get in over my head just yet. And you know, my hopes are in a brown paper bag with a little match just right next to it. So I don't expect anything this season. This has really been the nail in the coffin for me. But if we do beat Chelsea, maybe the tables can turn. But even then, we'll be 6 points behind, and we've still got to go to Liverpool away, Southampton away, which I know we just beat them 5-0, but in the league, different kettle of fish. Spurs away. Still got to play both Manchester sides at home. It's not boding well for us at the minute, and it's been a shocking night. It's been a really shocking night. Just to add on a personal note as well, the heating's gone in my house. There's been a burst pipe. The kitchen flooded. So all in all, this day has been just shocking, and I need a massive drink. So on that note, I'm going to wrap it up there. If you have oddly enjoyed this video, drop a like on it. Subscribe to AFC Game by Game. Leave your thoughts in the comments box below, and I'll be speaking to you very soon.